Bright and early on the Blitz package. I'm Preston Jackson, your host. My guest today, Corey Bender, Scout.com, covers the whole state of Florida. Check him out on Twitter. Does great work. Corey, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on, Preston. I appreciate that.
Let's not delay the process, but let's go jump right into it. First topic today: top senior available prospects. Let's open it up statewide. Who's still available, my man?
Yeah, man, there's a lot of top shelf players still available. You start with TJ Slade. He's a five-star offensive lineman down at Plantation American Heritage. Plays tackle, but will most likely shift inside the next level. All signs are pointing to Michigan right now. He's a kid that really hasn't got out on so many visits. He's pretty well reserved about recruiting. Like I said, he hasn't scheduled any visits. Michigan's the one school that he knows will definitely get a visit. He's going to go to Miami for unofficial this weekend, like every other kid in Florida, with that big matchup going down this weekend in Coral Gables. But TJ Slade, he's a five-star offensive lineman, 6'4.5", 340 pounds, a massive kid. Chris Henderson, he's a kid just decommitted yesterday from University of Miami. Kid out of Miami Columbus, speedy four-star athlete, can play on both sides of the ball, but will likely be a speedy corner at the next level. Good frame, good recovery ability. All signs are pointing to the Florida Gators for him. So that's why he decommitted from Miami yesterday. It wasn't too much of a surprise. A lot of people are anticipating that. And a few other names we'll run through. I know there's so many names to go through, but we'll start in the PCP area. You have A.J. Davis, you have James Robinson still on the table right now, too. Scout 300 guys. Two guys will be receiving their Under Armour All-American jerseys today. And both recruitments are kind of interesting. You know, with A.J., he took that visit over to Missouri. He canceled that one with Louisville for the Florida State weekend, and it turned out to be an amazing weekend for Louisville. But he went to Missouri on that visit. Louisville's in the mix as well. I know South Florida and UCF are trying to get in the mix. He mentioned Michigan State to me last week as far as an official visit, but his plans are kind of a wait and see approach. And the same goes for James Robinson. He hasn't scheduled any. I think he's going to be more of a guy to decide later on. But there's a few other names I'll run through. Just Colin Wilson, Green Coast Springs Clay High School up by Jacksonville. He's a four-star kid, 6'1", 220-pound running back. All signs are pointing to Louisville right there. Louisville's doing an outstanding job recruiting Florida, and they're trying to sign two running backs for this cycle. And both those kids could be out of Florida. One could be obviously Cole Wilson, a four-star kid, and the other one could be Vintavious Thompson on Miami South as a former Miami commit. But the list goes on and on. There's about 6 or 7 Scout 300 guys still on the board. You got about 2 or 3 guys from IMG as well. But plenty of talent still on the board for those schools that are still going out there to kind of fill their recruiting classes. With still 4 months to go to signing day. A lot of kids still left.
Malik Davis at Jesuit still on the board. We knew for a while he was really high on North Carolina. Carmi Mackey from Sefner Christian Academy had that injury over the offseason, which has prevented him from playing just yet his senior year. However, he'll be a D1 athlete. Chevelle Harris, also a Jesuit. The signs are pointing that he'll probably wait to the last minute somewhere near January to make a commitment. Bailey Shepard at Brandon, the big defensive tackle, has several Group of 5 D1 offers. And then Devonta Smith, running back at Brooksville Central, one that I really like. He'll be a D1 athlete. We'll see exactly where they end up landing. That's why if you don't follow Corey Bender, you need to. He's a great compliment to Big County Preps, as Big County Preps is on the front end of looking for new talent and young talent. Scout.com and Corey Bender does an excellent job of following the recruiting trail and getting information and knowing information about these kids doing their recruiting process. Corey, let's keep moving, man. Any prospect buzz and or visits from key players that you've been in contact with?
Yeah, man, as far as this local area, I'll sit with McKinney. Like I said, I know he's a local guy. He's on IMG now, but his whole entire official visit plan is pretty interesting. He actually is committed to Oregon. He remains solid with that commitment for now. He visited Florida State this past week on an official visit. This upcoming weekend, he's heading to Florida for an official visit. He's heading to Miami on the 15th. And then the last 2 official visits are scheduled with Oregon, who's obviously committed to, and then the Auburn Tigers. And it's going to be kind of interesting. I think if it was up to his family, they probably would want him a little bit closer to home. He remains solid to Oregon. He wants to see a little bit more from their team. Obviously, they had hit a few speed bumps to start the year. But, it's going to be interesting, man, because I know he committed to Miami. I think that's more of a long shot as far as flipping back there. But, Florida's still confident. I know Florida State, like I said, they had that heartbreaker at the end of the game versus North Carolina. They probably wish it would have went a different way as far as the outcome of that game. But McKay's a kid definitely going to take all 5 of his visits. A.J. the senior, obviously a kid over at Lakeland Lake Gibson, a kid I love, a real hard-hitting safety over there. He's going to take official visits to both LSU and Indiana. I know LSU staff was on him, even when Les Miles obviously was the coach, but that hasn't slowed down since this transfer over to Coach O. And I know they're still making him a priority. And there's a lot of uncertainty in that LSU class. You have a lot of kids that are committed right now that are really looking elsewhere. And Grant Delphin, he's a kid at IMG who's committed to LSU. He's really flirting heavily with Florida, and that would obviously play in favor of AJ as far as him going there. You know, if another spot opened up, but AJ says he's going to take a visit to LSU in Indiana. And some Tampa Catholic kids, man. Bentley Sanders, he said he is officially locked in his official visit with USF for January 13th. He's still going to visit Toledo, who he's previously committed to. So continues to talk with Coach Blackwell over there. And Darius Corbett, the same type of thing, man, with his official visits. He's going to take one to Toledo, obviously, who he's committed to. But he said Illinois is a school that's showing a lot of interest right now, and he's hoping to set up a visit with them. I think as far as Illinois is, I think it's probably more of a wait and see how their class ends up and, you know, the whole numbers game. But, you know, Illinois is showing a lot of interest. They like him at their satellite camp over the summer when Florida A&M at their satellite camp. But as far as those are four guys in the PCP area, they're definitely, you know, getting out on the road, setting up those visits. And, you know, like I said, 4 months of sign day now, and, you know, anything can happen with these kids. You know how that is.
And I'll lead this into the next question, which is possible flips. And you mentioned Trey McKitty. And when Trey McKitty first committed to Oregon, and everybody knew the kind of buzz was going around with him in Oregon, and I believe some within a small circle were scratching their heads like, why Oregon? You know, he's a tight end. There are other schools that produce NFL caliber tight ends, and they utilize the tight end much more than Oregon has in recent history. Why Oregon over, let's just say, a Miami or a Florida State, which in recent years has really produced good tight ends? So I'll toss that alley-oop to you, and it doesn't necessarily have to be about Trey McKitty. It just jogged my memory. But are there any guys that could come down within the next few weeks or months? That's probably a better question to range. The next few months that could end up flipping, Corey?
Well, yeah, we'll start with Trey McKitty, because like I said, we've been talking about him a little bit. I think, like you said before, too, man, it's going to be interesting. Him when he picked Oregon, the main thing, honestly, all the kids say, oh, the facilities, you know, the jerseys, equipment, all that kind of stuff, all the sexy type of stuff that always gets a kid's attention when you go on visits. But he also mentioned that he loves how they use their player, likes to flex them out, likes to get them in space as far as how versatile they have those big body athletes. They like to shift out, put their hand in the dirt, just kind of like a do-it-all tight end and kind of do everything. And that's the one thing McKitty said to me that really caused attention. Obviously, they told him he could play from day one as well, which a lot of schools still say as well. You know how that is. You never know once you get there. But to go with other kids, man, a lot of South Florida kids that are kind of on the flip watch. Latavius Breeding, he's a Scout 300 cornerback down at Hialeah Gardens. He's committed to Georgia Bulldogs. Been committed there for about 5 to 6 months now. But, you know, look out for Miami. You know, that's a school he's visited probably 6 or 7 times, probably in the last 5 months. He definitely has a strong relationship with Mark Kirk's staff. He'll be there for attendance this weekend for the Florida State game. And that's a kid, man. Like I said, I was kind of shocked I wasn't really shocked he picked Georgia, but I was surprised. I thought Miami was definitely in the driver's seat. And like I said, with C.J. Henderson decommitting yesterday from Miami, now probably going to go to Florida Gators. For him, that leaves open another spot that's available. And, you know, there's always a spot available, but I think when some kids left, okay, now there's a whole other spot. There's 2 spots available. Some kids might get more appetized when they kind of look at that. But Latavius Breeding, he's a kid who can end up staying home and flipping to Miami. The 2 other kids is Kadeem Telford. He's a 6'7" offensive tackle down at Booker T. Washington, Miami. He kicked off the recruiting process as a Miami commit, ended up flipping to the Florida Gators, who he's been committed to for over a year now. But a lot of people close to his recruitment, people I've spoken to as well, a lot of people anticipate a flip back to Miami at some point, especially the way Miami's playing right now. He's been committed to Florida, man, but if I go to the school right now, I'd almost place a bet that he'd probably be walking around with a Miami shirt on. They kid grew up, love Miami. He still has a ton of interest with them, and I expect him at some point to flip back. And, you know, the final kid I'm going to mention, Preston, is Sean Wade. I know you probably see him up at Jacksonville Trinity Christian, real lengthy corner, 6'2". You know, on the borderline of a 5-star prospect, real elite kid, but he's been committed to Ohio State for about a year and a half now. But that's another kid, man, that's definitely leaving that door open for schools. And Alabama and Florida are 2 schools that are definitely heavily in the mix. You know, Notre Dame, they hosted him on an official visit a few weeks back. They made an impression, but I don't think they'll be a serious contender. I think that's going to come down to Florida and Alabama trying to flip him from Ohio State. He's from Jacksonville, obviously, so, you know, Florida's pretty close to home. It's, you know, they can visit. They've visited there quite a few times recently, but a lot of high-profile kids kind of on that flip watch. I mean, it's going to it's going to be exciting leading up to signing day, but a lot of buzz in South Florida when it comes to that football option.
Well, got some time before signing day, and the anticipation is definitely going to build, and the media craze is definitely going to get stronger when the season ends and head into late November and December, and then January is going to be outrageous. Um, but once signing day is here and gone, and we love signing day, some aspects of it, but there's gonna be that 2018 class, Corey. There are some pretty good 2018s that are emerging across the state and within the area. Hit us up with some. Let's start out wide and let's bring it in. Who are some 2018 guys that are really starting to pop up?
Yeah, man. One guy that's definitely really starting to make a buzz is Taylor Upshaw, down at Bradenton, Grand River. He's a kid. Obviously, he's the son of Reagan Upshaw, obviously the former first-round pick play at Cal. And he's a kid, first year of football, 6'5", 245 pounds. A kid, like I said, schools just wanted to see him on tape. That was the thing. You saw him. He was actually at the sling and shoot for USF over the summer, and you see him walking around. Like, who is that guy? You know what I mean? It's a nice chiseled frame. I mean, it's a pass to the eye test, undeniable size, but a lot of schools wanted to see the pass and go on and see him play. And, once that first highlight film from the first game went out, USF wasted no time. They offered first. UCF just offered about 2 weeks ago as well. And just within the last week, he got picked up his first 2 Power 5 offers from Vandy and Pitt. So this is a kid, man, that's slowly creeping up boards. And, as the season goes on and more film comes out, it's not going to shock me once he hits double-digit offers. He's just one of those kind of physical freaks, man, at 6'5", 245. He's a high-character kid as well, yes sir, no sir type. There's just a lot of things to like about Taylor Upshaw. Obviously, he has the bloodlines, man. Like I said, his dad was obviously a big-time player, and it was kind of funny, the story. They told him this last year, they were like, why don't you play football? He's like, well, I guess I'll give it a try type of thing. We'll see how it goes. And he said it was like the best decision he's ever made. Obviously, now about 4 offers on the table. Another kid I like a lot, man, is Ja'Carrion Smith out of Lakeland High, the 2018 outside linebacker. Real rangy, pretty light on speed. Has to continue to attack the weight room, but I like him, man. He's real active. He has that well-rounded skill set. Kind of pesky, too, in pass coverage. Does a good job of kind of making the receiver feel uncomfortable, and does a good job of getting his hands inside to kind of jam that ball away to make deflections. Real productive as well, man. He's all over the place. It was stopping the run, scooting back in pass coverage, breaking on the football, or just kind of being around the football in general, man. So the kid is real active. It's kind of caught my attention on tape, and I'll be meeting with him later on today when I go over to Lakeland. I kind of want to interview him and talk to him a little bit, but another kid, man, right in your backyard, man, Malcolm Lamar. I think we've all known that he was a big-time prospect. I've been really, really high on him for a while, but now all the big dogs are coming in after him. You got Ole Miss just offered, Miami, Tennessee. I know Florida's keeping tabs on him over at Armwood, but he's a kid. Malcolm Lamar, it's like he always had those few offers, but now his recruitment is really starting to hit that national stage, and understandably so, man. He's a kid, 6'5", 265 pounds, really, real lean at 260, 265, really. I think almost long term, he doesn't play offensive tackle, but you look at him, he looks more like an offensive tackle. And it wouldn't shock me eventually if he shifts to the offensive side of the ball, especially if he gets to 6'6". His dad's 6'8", so you just never know how much he's going to grow. But another kid, man, the other day I saw that I kind of liked. I know no schools are really showing interest right now, but Raymond Benefield over at Tampa Catholic, I watched him the other day. 6 foot, 195 pounds. Really flies the football, runs real well. Kind of a smooth athlete. I think he's more effective. I know he has more of the body of a strong safety right now, but I think long term, as he hits packs on the weight room, I think he's more comfortable in the outside linebacker role near the line of scrimmage. But he impressed me off the edge when I saw him on Friday. Man, he was really shooting into the backfield, good acceleration, really provided that pop at the point of attack. He was a sound tackler as well. But like I said, you're going to have to be more patient with him. He's 195 pounds, if that, maybe 190. But he's a kid that definitely impressed me as a prospect, a young guy that you kind of have to keep tabs on, be patient with. But he's a guy, one of those Tampa Catholic guys that caught my attention. He had a real productive night as well. So like I said, maybe about in the spring, maybe more of the looks will start heating up for him as that weight goes on. But yeah, man, there's a lot of guys, especially in this DCP area, that I'm keeping close tabs on. I'm kind of excited to see over the next couple months.
Yeah, I'm gonna toss a few guys at you also. Number one is a young man down at Leonard High School, Fitzroy Gardner, 6'3", 220-pound defensive end, 2018 kid. He is, I'm trying to think of the correct word to use to describe him. he has a bit of that James Wilder type factor off the edge. If you ever saw James Wilder play in high school, anybody who's listening saw James Wilder play in high school, if the ball, anytime the ball was either to him or away from him, he was going to make a play by any means necessary. If it was leaving his feet, it was going over top of 3-4 people. If it was at the bang, the pulling guard, spin off of him, come back inside, whatever it took, he was going to make a play. This kid reminds me slightly of James Wilder. He has that type of it factor down at Leonard. And then Jerome Ford, I'll take you back at Armwood. Jerome Ford, who's a 5'10", 190-pound speedster athlete. And I know a lot of the guys over there with the bevy of athletes they have kind of take most of the attention. But this is a young man that we'll keep an eye on over at Armwood. Can play multiple positions, could play running back or the slot receiver. Again, 5'10", about 190 pounds. And can run. Great straightaway head speed. Also very elusive, moving side to side. So those are two guys to add on to your list, Corey. And you mentioned something I want to caution parents about because we get a lot of parental listeners and viewers. Number one, be patient with young athletes. Don't rush to try to get them attention too soon. You want to make sure that the first impression is a good one. There's only a handful of young athletes, freshmen and sophomores, who will be major prospects at an early age. When I say a small number, Corey, I'm talking about within our 6-county area. I'm talking about maybe 25 to 30, maybe less than that. About 20, 25 kids will be Power 5 kids at the early ages. Okay, so it's a small percentage of kids, like maybe less than 5%. All right, so don't rush to try and put out a whole bunch of film too soon. Don't rush to try and get in coaches' ears too soon. Kids have to develop. They always do as part of maturity. Their body has to develop. They have to get bigger, stronger, faster. And then as they get bigger, stronger, faster, and more confident, start making more plays, the film looks better. So it's a better first impression.
Absolutely, man.
Any
go back to Jerome Ford, too, real quick, man.
Go ahead.
It's funny. When I can add a recruiting note about him as well. I can kind of make it real quick. As far as Jerome Ford, I can add about his recruitment. Yeah, USF and UCF. Despite having, a lot of people get caught up in so-called Power 5 playing at the bigger conferences, but UCF and South Florida are leading the way for his recruitment right now. Like you said, the first time I saw him on film about, back in the spring, man, I was watching, Tim on kickoff. And, you see kids run on kickoff, get down the field. That kid literally had every kid on his team by three steps going down the field on kickoff. And as far as making the tackle, that, like you said, man, that kid has undeniable speed and elusive. Like you said, I like that kid as well. I remember when I went to go talk to Sneed and I went to go talk to Collins back in, February. I remember the coach said he brought Jerome in, and you could tell Jerome was like a shy kid. He was doing all the track stuff and didn't really know about the whole football recruiting, how it all worked as far as that. Now we fast forward about 8-9 months later, where we had almost probably 10 offers now. I mean, a little bit less than that. But like you said, man, Armwood's just loaded in, especially the offensive backfield. I know he'll probably be more in the slot, maybe even defensive backfield, but so much speed, so much versatility on that Armwood team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, there's just so many guys you can put the ball in their hands.
That's Corey Bender. This has been the Blitz Package. Corey, we appreciate you calling in, my man.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, Preston. I appreciate having me on. Corey
is a big County Preps advocate, as we are with Corey Bender, so make sure you pay attention to all his stuff. Corey, I'm gonna let you go, my man, and we'll talk.
All right, thank you a lot, Preston. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, we thank you for listening again. Parents, I can't stress enough, you have to, I know it sounds like kids get offer every day, and all these kids are getting all these offers, and naturally you want your kid to be a part of that process as early as possible. You want to make sure that he has some type of interest from college coaches and possibly an offer from college coaches. However, not every kid, not every team is going to have a young man on their ball club that's going to have early, quote unquote, early Power 5, Group of 5 interest. They can definitely get that later as they develop and become better football players and get bigger and taller and faster. But there are only a handful that show early skill and talent. I'd rather say talent. Early measurables, height, weight, and then talent to be early offer kids. That's and when I say a small number, we're talking maybe 20 to 25 kids across 6 counties, and that's every year. That 20 to 25 grows over time. So that class of 17, or let's just say the class of 17, when they were freshmen and sophomores, and they had 20 to 25 major kids, now that class of 2017 has about 60 to 70 major kids after those kids have gone through, played more ball, got more comfortable, grew, and become stronger, bigger, stronger, faster. So don't be in a rush to push the film out there. Don't be in a rush to get the name out there when it is just not ready. We definitely advise you to have your head coaches or assistant coaches look over film before you start offering out, especially in the social media space where anybody can view it. All right? So this has been the Big County Preps Blitz Package. We appreciate your time. We'll be back.